Hello, my name is Edward Bennington and I'm one of the maintainers of Trashland, and here I'm going to be talking about DMM and give a demonstration of how to use it and how to update your dependencies. So DMM is a Dino module manager specifically for Dino that is lightweight, simple and easy to use, only reads and writes to your dependency file and has no configuration files associated with it. So we have a basic example here. So our dependency file, where we're exporting from two modules, and both are out of date. The latest release for Trash is 1.0.6 and the latest release for Dino SCD is 0.59.0. And there's two ways we can run DMM. You can run it straight through the URL for the dino.land URL, or you can install DMM and run it like that. So for example, to install DMM, it would be this command here. To run and install DMM, it requires three certain permissions. Allow net, because under the hood, DMM uses HTTP requests to fetch the latest releases for the dependencies. Allow read, because it needs to read what dependencies you are using in your dependency file, and allow write so it can update the version string. And by version string, I just mean this part of your import or export line. So I already have DMM installed because I personally find it easier to use than having to, for example, run this whole command each time. So let's check the help. So like I said, there's two ways to run DMM. You can run it straight through the URL, or you can run install DMM and then run it like that. Now, obviously, you're most likely going to update your dependencies more than once when using DMM, which is why I'd say it's probably easier to install DMM and then run it like this, because obviously having to type this out each time is a bit cumbersome, and installing it just makes it a bit more simplified and easier to type. So there's two sub commands that we can use. There's help and the version, so we can check what version of DMM we are using, which is 1.1.1, which is the latest release as of recording. And there's three main commands. So there's check, update and info. And info shows information about the given module. So it could be an STD module, it could be a third-party module. It will just give you, the information, what the module name is, the import lines you use it, the latest release. And the check command checks the specified module for any newer versions of releases. So it could be all of and that solely checks your dependency file. So I should know that the info command, it does the module you want to have information on doesn't have to be in your dependency file. So for example, we can just check information on Dino's HTTP module. And as you can see here, it shows a bunch of information about it. And you can also see that we don't have it in our dependency file. So that's what's unique about the info command as opposed to the update and check command. And it doesn't even have to be SCD modules, it supports third-party modules. So it could be Denon, for example, which I know is a third-party module. And I think I mentioned earlier that DMM currently only supports, the only registry DMM supports is dino.land at the time of recording. So let's run through the check command. So check will read your dependency file and check all, some or one dependency to see if it can be updated. So let's see if Trash can be updated. So I'll specify one module. There we go. We can see it can be updated to a newer version. We can check Trash and format. There we go. We can see both can be updated. And say we had more, if we just wanted to check the whole file, it would be a simple DMM check. Now we can move on to the update command. which updates your dependencies. So how all of this works is it does read the version string from the import or export URL line, and it will compare that with the latest release, and if there's if the version you're using is less than the latest release, then it'll flag that up and it will rewrite the version string to reflect the latest release. So let's update format first. You'll notice it's still 0.53.0. There we go. And now it's changed to 0.59.0. And it doesn't matter if you have a V in front of the version or not. It will keep it consistent. So say, let's use this as an example. No V. Let's run update on format again. There we go. And it doesn't add in a V or it doesn't take away a V, it just keeps it consistent. So now let's put that back to 0.53 again, and we'll update all of our dependencies. There we go. So now you can see that both trash and format have been updated to their latest releases. And that's all it needs to do. It only needs to update the version string in your dependency file. And that's what's great about the Dino kind of architecture, is that having DMM, all it needs to do is update the version string. And that's it for me. Thank you for watching.